I'm a man, and this is a story that is told through the lens of a woman. And especially when it relates to intimacy scenes and to scenes where there is a mix of intimacy and violence, I wanted to make sure that those scenes had a female gaze. As much as I can try to see the world as a woman, I never will be.
Hey there, drama lovers. Madison here. And if you thought the Blake versus Justin fiasco had already hit peak chaos, think again, because the latest rumor spinning out of the Hollywood mill is wilder than ever. Allegedly, Blake Lively fell head over heels for her co-star Justin Baldoni during the filming of It Ends With Us. And yes, you heard that right. The whispers say this starry-eyed crush might have been the spark that ignited the entire meltdown. Intrigued? Mortified? Maybe both. Let's break down this so-called forbidden romance conspiracy with the usual wit and side-eye. But before we get into it, do me a favor. Smash that like button and hit subscribe, because let's be honest, college loans don't pay themselves and every click keeps these lights on. Thank you, fam. Now, on to the drama, which is juicier than a soap opera marathon. According to the rumor mill, Blake has something of a track record as an on-set heartbreaker, catching feelings for co-stars. Remember Penn Badgley back in Gossip Girl days? Or Ryan Reynolds on Green Lantern, who ended up as her real-life husband? Well, insiders claim history might have tried to repeat itself here, with Blake allegedly letting sparks fly while playing pretend romance opposite Justin. The catch? Justin didn't play along. The theory goes that she threw out signals, maybe leaned a little harder into certain scenes to see if he'd reciprocate, but instead Justin responded with a polite no thanks, leaving her embarrassed and rejected. And here's where the gossip gets messy. Some say that bruised ego turned into a lawsuit, a strategic move to flip the script, shift blame, and protect her image. Because if your crush doesn't bite, why not frame him as the problem?
And was very hands-on with the choreography of it as well. Honestly, there were many instances on set where I just let the women figure it out, and I took a step back and kind of jumped in more as an actor in those scenes than even as a director.
So here's the rumor everyone can't stop dissecting. Blake allegedly caught real-life feelings for Justin, dropped more than a few signals, and when he apparently didn't return the favor, everything spiraled into chaos. Think unrequited love colliding with a high-profile film production. Suddenly the project that once had fans screaming, "OMG, can't wait," turned into, "OMG, call the lawyers." Now, I can already hear the skepticism. Isn't Blake a happily married mom of four? Doesn't Justin practically make a living giving positivity speeches online?
Exactly.
That's what makes this rumor so jaw-dropping. But hold on to your popcorn, because the so-called facts get even wilder. If you believe the whispers, Justin went deep into method acting, pouring himself into his role as Ryle, the dangerously charming doctor with complicated vibes. Add in a co-star who may have been craving romance or excitement, and some say you've got a recipe for both trouble and heartbreak. The claim is that the unreciprocated chemistry, mixed with Blake's well-documented love of romance, turned the set into a swirl of high-stakes emotions. She even admitted in interviews that the story made her feel fireworks, describing overlapping conscious and unconscious emotions. Fireworks. Was that code for an epic crush on her co-star? Maybe. Or maybe she just admired the script. Still, certain fans suspect that when Blake realized she and Justin weren't about to become Hollywood's next it couple, the narrative pivoted from flirty tension to harassment claims. Brutal? Absolutely. But that's the theory. And timing could be key. Remember, Blake had just welcomed her fourth child before diving into a film dripping with emotional romance. Was it pure art, or personal feelings bleeding into the spotlight? The gossip machine certainly thinks the latter.
Just tell me what it was like also collaborating with Blake.
Oh, she's a creative force. She's a genius. She was involved in every aspect of this production, and everything she touched, she made better.
I mean, it all started with a letter that Colleen received from you.
Could postpartum hormones, mixed with a hyper-romantic storyline, have blurred boundaries? The theory insists yes, claiming it created the perfect storm for a slow-burn crush. Meanwhile, Justin stayed deep in his method acting bubble, either oblivious or deliberately ignoring any signals. If true, that's beyond awkward. Of course, Skeptics roll their eyes and call it nonsense, reminding everyone that Blake is a seasoned professional. But scandal-hungry fans point to evidence they say can't be ignored. Enter the so-called holy smokes moment, an old Instagram post from roughly 100 weeks back. Justin had shared a sweaty workout session and Blake chimed in with a comment, "Amazing, now try it pregnant." To some, it was cheeky humor between friends. To others, it was playful flirtation broadcast in plain sight. Depending on your lens, it's either harmless banter or a breadcrumb in a bigger story.
And then when it came to bringing on the stunt coordinator, it was important to me that it was a woman. We brought on Lauren Shaw, and we all worked together to figure out, well, how can the intimacy of this and the violence kind of work together? How can we make sure everyone feels safe? How can we rehearse and go through the process? Blake was very involved in that and had amazing ideas.
But conspiracy lovers insist that Instagram moment wasn't harmless. It was a subtle, I like what I see nudge. The theory? Blake loves inserting herself into every narrative, and maybe that was her gentle way of letting Justin know she was paying attention. Still not convinced? Conspiracy fans drag out her so-called track record. Penn Badgley, she dated him during Gossip Girl. Ryan Reynolds, sparks allegedly flew on Green Lantern while he was still with Scarlett Johansson.
Yikes.
Ben Affleck, The Town era, whispers of emotional entanglement while she was with Penn, and he was still married to Jennifer Garner. So, if she's 3 for 3 in the on-set romance department, rumor mongers argue, why wouldn't she test her luck with Justin? Comedic logic, maybe, but fans are eating it up. Point one angle? Ryan Reynolds allegedly knows how Blake operates on set and was determined to protect her, or maybe protect his territory. According to whispers, once it became obvious Justin wasn't interested, Ryan swooped in. Cue accusations that Justin fat-shamed Blake by asking about her weight during a lift scene, plus rumors that Ryan mocked him with a cheeky Deadpool cameo featuring a nice spool character.
Petty? Sure.
On brand for the gossip mill? Absolutely. The fallout allegedly culminated in that infamous penthouse meeting where Ryan confronted Justin, pouring gasoline on an already raging fire. From there, the meltdown snowballed, Blake allegedly stoking the flames, Justin refusing to back down, lawsuits piling up like scripts in a studio backlog. So, is this rumored love triangle a total fabrication? Nothing more than fan detectives stringing together old interviews for sparks of chemistry? Or is it uncomfortably plausible given Blake's history, the tense set atmosphere, and the scale of this meltdown? Either way, it's Hollywood gold.
That message must have been so heartfelt. What do you think was the words that you used that really captivated her and made her want to give you over the movie rights? I mean, she had a lot of requests.
Yeah, I don't know if, again, I feel like there was some divine guidance.
The burning question remains, would Blake Lively really orchestrate a full-blown harassment lawsuit simply because Justin Baldoni said, thanks, but no thanks? That seems like an extreme leap, but in Tinseltown, anything is possible. You honestly couldn't script this level of chaos, or maybe you could, and they just did. Between rumored creative clashes, oversized egos, and whispers of flirty signals gone wrong, the It Ends With Us set was apparently a ticking time bomb. Word around production was that Blake made costume changes on a whim, brushing aside the actual designer. Did it shatter continuity, or was it her idea of character empowerment? Depends on who you ask. At the same time, Justin's method acting bubble may have fueled even more confusion, especially if Blake was mixing real emotions with on-screen intimacy. The result? Accusations flying faster than film schedules, leaving the world gossiping about lawsuits instead of release dates. Now, fans dissect texts, cameo rumors, superhero jokes, and contradictory accounts of who lifted whom and when, while Blake is knee-deep in legal drama. Some believe she's on a mission to bury Justin's career, while Justin wields screenshots and receipts to argue she's twisting events. Add Ryan Reynolds into the equation, possibly stoking the fire behind the scenes, and you've got yourself a Hollywood powder keg. The juiciest theory? Blake allegedly caught feelings, Justin shut it down, and she went scorched earth. It's the perfect storm of half-sourced facts, side eyes, and fan-fueled conspiracies. Until a court delivers a verdict or some explosive evidence drops, We're stuck living in speculation land. But let's be real. That's half the fun. If this were a rom-com, maybe we'd get a dramatic confession scene from Blake. In reality, expect NDAs, settlements, and a whole lot of no comment. That's Hollywood's favorite ending.
Was the words. I think it was the intention and the why that I wanted to make the movie, and the heart that I try to put in everything that I do. And I think at the end of the day, that speaks maybe more than words do. I think that people can feel the intention. It's like the difference between like your grandmother's food and a restaurant.
Meanwhile, fans are busy playing detective, rewatching old interviews, zooming in on behind-the-scenes photos, and dissecting every tilted head or lingering glance like it's evidence in a courtroom. Let's be honest, we're all starving for the next scandal fix. The real question is whether this saga will be remembered as nothing more than a laughable rumor or exposed later as the hidden truth behind an even bigger meltdown than we imagined. Either way, it's pure tabloid gold, and a whirlwind of accusations, $100 million lawsuits, clashing statements, and even superhero cameo references. The theory that Blake tried to spark something with Justin, got rejected, and then painted him as the villain is one of the wildest takes yet. Still, plenty of fans find it oddly believable, especially given her rumored history and the murky debate over who truly directed those intimate scenes. But remember, none of it's confirmed.
Well, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got two nice ones.
And they are kind of bumps, aren't they?
No, not bumps. The lovely lady lumps. Check it out.
Thank you. Thank you.
We might eventually get a jaw-dropping courtroom reveal or a hush-hush settlement that locks the real tea away forever. For now, let's just call this what it is. An entertaining rumor that feels a little too believable in the twisted logic of Hollywood heartbreak. In the world of spin and spectacle, this theory takes the crown. The idea that Blake fell for Justin and then sued him out of spite is so sensational it reads like a Netflix scandal script waiting for greenlight. But remember, it's still just a theory. That's where you come in. Drop your takes in the comments because I need to know whose side you're on in this soap opera. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more messy updates on this saga and the Hollywood chaos you secretly crave. I'm Madison Starr signing off with one golden piece of advice. Never say it can't get crazier, because in Tinseltown it always does. So stay messy, stay blessed, and brace yourselves. If you thought this was the grand finale, think again. We're only at intermission, and the next act of this epic Hollywood drama promises to be even wilder.